All the late-night talk show hosts, for the first time, have band together to roast President Trump. For more on what they're doing and why, we're joined by Fox News contributor, New York Times bestselling author of the Will Wilder series, Raymond Arroyo. Raymond, I saw the triple boxes with Conan and the others, and I was thoroughly not interested, but apparently everybody else is.
Well, this is important. Let me tell you how this started. Jimmy Fallon came out to The Hollywood Reporter and said he kind of backtracked and apologized for having Donald Trump on. He's been hazed for this for months during the campaign. They said it humanized the president. Then the president addressed it in South Carolina. Watch.
Jimmy Fallon. The guy screws up my hair. He apologized for humanizing me. The poor guy, because now he's going to lose all of us. If somebody would open a talk show at night, because the guy on CBS is what a lowlife. What a lowlife. I mean, honestly, are these people funny? There's no talent. They're not like talented people. Johnny Carson was talented.
Okay, well, first of all, you and I both agree.
We
By
love
the way,
Johnny Carson.
Trump would be a great late-night host.
Oh, he's
really
funny. He's off the cuff. But I'm going to take a slightly different view here, the devil's advocate. I don't think the president should have elevated them by attacking them like this. Because it elevates them. Now, the late-night industrial complex came together, and they created this, a trifecta of attack on the president. Watch.
Did you see Trump's rally last night?
Nope.
Me either. Heard he said some pretty bad stuff about us.
Really? That doesn't sound like him.
I heard he said we're all no talent, low life, lost souls.
Well, that's not right. That's Conan. Hold on, I'll get him.
Oh, hey guys, what's up? We're just talking about what President Trump said last night. President who?
Trump.
Donald Trump. The real estate guy who sells steaks? He's president? Yeah. Wow. How's he doing?
Not so good.
Hey, you still on for lunch?
Yeah, what do you want to eat?
Red hen?
Red hen.
Oh my
you know
God.
what the problem with this
that is so unfunny.
It's not funny. There's no funny. And there's something else really sad here. We need, as Americans, a place that we can unify. And laughter, comedy was that place. Jimmy Fallon was the last holdout in late night that kept politics on a low simmer or the back burner. He had fun, he had games, he's silly, goofy. That's gone now. I have a friend who's watched him every night since he premiered. She just told me I took him off of my DVR. And what's so crushing about this? He was that last bastion for people. And only a year ago, last year, he said this to his colleague Willie Geist.
It's just not what I do. I think it'd be weird for me to start doing it now. I don't really even, care that much about politics. I got to be honest. I love pop culture more than I love politics. I'm just not that brain,
Do you ever feel pressure to talk about Donald Trump or to go political? Do you hear that noise?
No, I mean, I think the other guys are doing it very well. When it's organic, I'll dip into it as well. But I've always made jokes about the president.
Fallon was really smart there.
You bet.
Why cut your audience in half?
Right.
Why do that?
Well, here's the problem. I'll tell you why he's doing it now and doing these mea culpas. Colbert was beating him in the ratings, 3.8 million people tuning in. So I went and I dug up the man we heard about earlier, Johnny Carson, who talked to Barbara Walters about politics and why he stayed away from it in his show. Watch.
I think one of the dangers, if you are a comedian, which basically I am, if you start to take yourself too seriously and start to comment on social issues, your sense of humor suffers somewhere. The Tonight Show basically is to amuse people, to make them laugh.
This is why he presided over the most watched talk show of all time for more than 40 years.
No one will ever touch Carson because that era is over. Could they go a week without Trump?
I doubt
They should go on a Trump diet, not mention it for a week, and try to be funny.
Think about Carol Burnett, who was his contemporary. She also kept politics out of her show. She could have done Nixon sketches, never did. She was doing Mrs. Hugh Wiggins and Mama's Family, which 40 and 50 years later, people are still buying the DVDs.
And by the way, Tyler Perry, when he does our favorite,
Madea
stays away from. I love Madea. I love all Madea
because
movies.
Everybody can laugh together around that. We need unifying comedy, not divisive comedy.
All right.
Carson's right. The humor suffers, and we don't need that anymore.
It's not. I'll just say the worst offense. It's not funny.
Yeah, well, that is a problem.
Conan's the most funny in that three boxes. But Raymond Seinfeld is speaking about this week about the Roseanne reboot. So what is he saying?
Remember when I told you this show when everybody was hailing it? Oh, this is great. We all love it. And I said she's a loose cannon. She's a little crazy. And ABC had to let her go. Now Seinfeld is saying, no, they shouldn't have done that. They should have recast the role of Roseanne Connors with another actress. And then he added this controversial.
I didn't see why it was necessary to fire her. Why would you murder someone who's committing suicide? But I never saw somebody end their entire career with one button push. That was fresh.
I think what he was saying there, with a little tongue-in-cheek, was that the audience should have decided what to do with Roseanne. Maybe give her another chance. I don't know. But, you know, Seinfeld has always been on kind of the outside of comedy. He hates the PC culture, and he doesn't speak on college campuses, won't entertain
he said
them.
that. He said
we have the bite, but I don't know if we have time.
Yeah, we have the I want to play this again.
Okay,
It dovetails back to what Carson was saying about how you circumscribe unifying humor by getting really political. Let's watch.
Does the climate worry you now? I've talked to Chris Rock and Larry the Cable Guy. They don't even want to do college campuses anymore.
I hear that all the time. I don't play colleges, but I hear a lot of people tell me don't go near colleges. They're so PC. They just want to use these words. That's racist. That's sexist. That's prejudice. They don't even know what they're talking about.
He's old school in that. And what I love, Jerry Seinfeld is doing a new season of his Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. Jerry Lewis, in one of his last interviews, is in the car with Seinfeld. Cannot wait to see that. I promise you, it will not be PC, and it probably won't be political.
Jerry Lewis smashed Obama pretty hard in your interview.
But that was not in his comedy act. That was in an interview, and I asked him about refugees, and he said how he felt about it.
They're not funny when all it is Trump, 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 Trump. It's not funny. It's boring.
Well, they become a political activist, and nobody wants to see that. They want to laugh.
On the other networks that nobody watches. All right, Raymond, awesome. Thank you so much.